All right, so I had my camera on, but it was for photo. So anyway, hopefully this video is actually working now. So this is kind of like a test, everything like that. So as I was saying, I'm on a treadmill today. It's basically cardio day. I usually like to try to do between 30 and 50 minutes. Typically, I would ride my bike here, my Nordic track, but you know, it's broken. I had it for about a year and a half, paid a lot of money for the bike and stuff, and you know, the pedal snapped off. So I've been dealing with this, trying to get a replacement. I mean, the whole thing just snapped off. So trying to deal with a replacement, and they tell me on the phone the other day, hey, your parts warranty is good, but it's still active, but your service warranty, it's no good. So you got to pay for the guy to come out and replace it. So whatever, I paid a lot of money for this bike, and whatever the case may be. But Nordic track, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I'll be doing business with them again, because parts just snapping off. It's like buying a Porsche and tires fall off. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's a different story. So I'm going to be using my treadmill here, about 10 minutes. Then I'll switch it around, to kind of make it more exciting here. Probably do some hills on it. And then essentially what I will do is I will mosey on down to this guy here. Right there. I'll go ahead and utilize that, as you can see, for, another 10 minutes. Then what I will do is I will switch back over to the treadmill again. So that is what we're going after here. Hopefully this camera is straight, decent. I don't know. We will see. But that is what we're going after today. So you can go ahead and enjoy, join me on the adventure here. Think of me as I guess you're kind of like your gym partner, if you will. And we'll get started in a minute here. Remember, it's 10 minutes here, 10 minutes over there, 10 minutes here, 10, just alternate. I'll probably do about 5 reps between the two. So total of 5 reps. And that'll be 50 minutes. All right, this is Joe from Joe's Fitness. All right, I got your back. All right, so let's get started. Let me go ahead and get on a treadmill. I'm going to go ahead and get on here and start my little trek. All right, so first thing I do is I hit the start button. And we're just going to do a little warm up here, right? We're going to go maybe for the speed. I like to usually start about 2.5. You can start lower if you want, but I usually like to get right to it. I don't want to, it's kind of chilly right now. It's early in the morning. So, and we actually got snow, go figure, right? It's winter, but usually this south, which is where I'm currently at, we got snow for, I don't want to say the first time in history, but we, it was pretty rough coming in from the job last night. I put it to you that way. So, a lot of snow and ice on the road, something that, one lane roads are not accustomed to. You go the wrong way, you fly into a ditch. That's the thing. They say, yeah, the houses are cheaper, you get more quick money, but do you? Moving to the south and places that, that not quite developed yet, like they should be. I'm from California originally, so we had rules on top of rules, on top of regulations, on top of regulations, but some of those regulations were good, let's just be honest here. Lived in Seattle for a while. Usually when it snowed, they they shut the place down with good reason too, because the amount of traffic-related accidents and deaths just went up so high, you know. So anyway, as I was saying, getting back to this, you know, you just gotta go for, I usually like to warm up a couple of minutes, whatever have you. I'm at 2.5. I'm at an incline of 3. Okay, so, you know, you guys can go lower, you know, if you want, but don't, you know, you want to get your blood, you know, warm. You know, get your blood warm, get it up and running, get your muscles loose, all that kind of thing. So that's what this is about. Okay. My fitness journey has been quite an extensive one. Probably don't know a lot about me, but you know, I'm a former Marine. So I've been pretty much into fitness, health fitness, you know, my entire life. But the reality is, I mean, as you get older, things slow down, whatever happen. In my case, it's a little bit different. I got a, you know, bit of a medical condition that, you know, seemed like no matter what I did, no matter how many diets, much diet, exercise I did, weight just kept coming on, you know. I was about, I want to say about 20 years old when it started happening. So, years later, decades later, I find out I got something called Hashimoto's, which is, you know, immune system attacks your thyroid gland. Thyroid is, for those of you who don't know, controls your metabolism. So, I'm telling you this long, boring story just to let you know that before you get this started with any exercise program, whether it's this one or something else, or your own, whatever the case may be, I would highly recommend that you get the blood work done from your doctor. You know, I had to see a specialist, you know, for my situation. That's how I was diagnosed. But, you know, with anyone, from what I've learned is you got to get some things in check, hormone-wise. Hormone-wise. So that's your things like, you know, obviously there's so many hormones, right? But a lot of them. But basically your slipped my mind. Let's start with the blood pressure. So your blood pressure needs to be right. Your A1C needs to be right. Your hormones needs to be right. Those levels, right? All those things have to be at, you know, adequate levels. So your testosterone, your fight or flight gene, you know, fight or flight hormone, cortisol, all those different things. So what happens is, especially as you get older, you know, if those things are out of whack, a lot of people, they don't see their doctors enough, you know, and so they go on these diets, this exercise routines, and they won't see much of a difference. You wonder why? Well, your hormones are out of whack. Surprise, your blood pressure has been high, you know, so your A1C is out of whack. Surprise again, you know, all those different things. So get your test, go to your doctor, get things done, get things situated, okay? And then that way you see better results with your exercise routine, okay? I've had to even, you know, for those who can afford it, you know, I've even, you know, had to seek out the counsel and advice from a private doctor, you know, because the condition I have, you know, I need to be able to pick up the phone, you know, I get tests every 3-4 times a year, you know, blood tests, things of that nature. So anyway, enough of that. Let me go ahead and pick up the speed a little bit, pick up the inclination, the incline as it were, and I'm at a 5, and I'm going to go put the speed up to a 2.7, and some of you watching, you might say, hey, I can jog faster than this, and I can, so in case if that's what you want to do. But I would recommend good pace, good strong, pace. It's probably less chance of an injury, things like that, And then also, you have to be careful with running. I mean, I understand you have marathon runners and things like that, but, your heart jumping around, beating like that, we weren't really meant to do that. A lot of times our ancestors, it was fight or flight genes, cortisol, right? So your heart, the time you ran, pretty much wasn't for sport. It was for a reason, for food gathering, whatever, right? You're hunting, or being hunted by an animal, running for your life, or running to get some food or whatever, hunting, things of that nature. So from what I've learned, when you constantly put that strain on your heart, that's not necessarily good because your cortisol level is always up. It's like the body's asking, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why, So I like to keep the running down to the minimum. In fact, the older I get, I don't run at all. I just walk. It's the best exercise you can get. The thing that you, next to weightlifting, and we'll get to that next time. So anyway, I'm 8 minutes in, 2 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and crank the incline again. Crank it up to a 7. Feel myself getting a little out of breath, and that's the key, right? So when you're on a treadmill, you want to, be on it at such a pace where that you can talk, but it's a little bit difficult to talk, just a tad bit, right? So that's how you can tell that it's working, right? It's kind of like a brisk walk, but not too brisk, because people, depending on who they are, they taking that brisk walk a little too extreme, they can even get hurt with that. So just the key is, watch your heart rate, and pay attention to, your ability to talk in a conversation. That's how you know, okay, this is a pretty good pace. All right, so I got about 45 seconds left. Are you with me? Hopefully you are. Okay, it's real easy, and for some of you, you can probably stop at 10 minutes and that'd be good for you. But I don't have such luck, right? I got to do another 4 repetitions of these 10 minutes, alternating between the two machines as I indicated in my introductory video. So I'm just going to ground this last 15 seconds. At a 7 incline, 2.7 speed. And I will stop. All right, so the distance here was about a half a mile. So 0.4. So let me show you guys something here in a minute. So what we have right in my garage. What we have here, let me see if it'll allow me to turn it around. Nope, it will not. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just turn it around then, like so. What we have here, if you can see, there is snow on the ground here. Guys, give you guys a little closer look there. Snow on the ground, and as you understand, it's kind of hard to work out when it's an inclement kind of weather. So that's why I have everything I need right here in my comfy garage. I will see you in the next video. Okay, so now we are at the point where we're going to get on our other little device here. You can go ahead and grab my remote for the camera, if you guys don't mind. All right, so here we are here, and I'm probably gonna have to move this bike out a little bit more. There. Yeah. Anyway, so as I was saying before, this bike here, it's been very it's been very sad. Paid a lot of money for it, and for whatever reason, the pedal snapped off. But I'm not going to keep harping on that. I have an alternate, right? So let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to do about 10 minutes of this. So where was I? Oh yeah, so it generally doesn't snow in the South, as you know. And the end of my video on the treadmill, I showed you what it looks like outside. It's got some dust and the snow. And, you know, a lot of people, they kind of use that, I mean, I'm just going to call it what it is, as an excuse to not move. The excuse to sit on the couch and eat pizza and cake and cookies and pie and all that stuff, you know. Well, I can't do nothing. It's you know, the weather's bad. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's always too something. But the reality is, all you gotta do is get up and start moving. Really. You know, I mean, the amount of times you walk back and forth to the refrigerator. You know, I mean, I couldn't count that as exercise, but that shows you have the ability to move. And if you want to keep that ability, you got to expound on that ability. You got to do some physical, laborious stuff. Not too laborious, but just enough to get your blood pumping. All right, so I'm going to adjust the resistance on here, which is on my right side. Put that at a 2. It started as a 1. And there's even an elevation on here, on this side, left side. All right, let's see what that does. Ooh, put a 2. Oh, okay, you guys probably can't hear it, but I heard the motor crank up like this, you know, zzz, raising up. So, anyway, so now one thing about this device here, right? So, yeah, but you know, I have a trick knee on my right side, and I know that. So you got to really be careful with this stuff. You got to know your body pretty well. I remember when I worked out with a trainer a while ago, you know, many years ago, and I was looking for a trainer rather, and I had a guy, you know, he was a little bit younger than I am, and basically he asked me, hey, do you have any injuries? You know, like back, knees, and all this kind of stuff. And at the time, I had no injuries. So I figured out he asked me that because he wanted to know if basically there were some things he had to be aware of so he could take that into account during the training session, you know, and basically know how hard he could push me versus, you know, and then methods and stuff like that that he could utilize for people with injuries. So, needless to say, I got some injuries now, right? You know, we can't stay young forever. At least not on this side of things. So basically, what I do is, since I know myself so well, I know my right knee is a little tricky sometimes. I kind of check in with myself, check in with my body, right? Like, okay, how do my shoulders feel? Because you know, I got a little shoulder issue too from time to time, and a little lower back issue. I mean, wow, I feel like, what am I, a mummy or something? I must be broken down, wrapped up in bandages or something. But anyway, I do have a few injuries here, but I still don't use that as an excuse to lay around and do nothing, because things can and will get a lot worse if you do that. So do not lay around and do nothing. All right, so I'm going to crank up the elevation a little bit more. All I put a little 3 on it. The resistance is on a 3 as well. Okay, so as I was saying, basically you have to get up, you have to move around. That's just the way your body's made. Okay, so moving around, whether it's walking, whether it's, playing golf, going for a walk, whatever the case may be, you have to get in the habit of doing that. Because here at Joe Bloe's Fitness, we don't believe in just sitting around all day. Because we understand that the body just wasn't made to do that. We're made to move, to enjoy life. I mean, think about this, right? In history, we know about explorers who explored the world. If you look at people that came over to California, panned for gold, the 49ers and all that kind of different stuff, which is, a team named after that, right? NFL. But if you look at all these people exploring, doing things, they couldn't do that from the comfort of their own home, could they? I doubt it, right? So that tells you, that's one of the things that tells you right off the way, that right off the bat, that, hey, I gotta move, I gotta do some stuff. If your body, becomes accustomed to sitting around, I don't know about some of you, but I got a job where I sit at a desk all day, literally. And I used to have a more active job, but, due to injuries and all that, I had to get something where I sit at a desk. I get to walk around a little bit, but for the most part, it's a sedentary job. So that in turn leads to a sedentary lifestyle. So with that being stated, your body, I don't want to say becomes accustomed to sitting around, but the reality is, it, let's just say you mentally get accustomed to sitting around, where the thought, the very thought of actually exercising is, disgusting to you, right? So you don't want that, because your body is going to start locking up. You might get away with it when you're in your 20s. You might even get away with it in your 30s. But once you hit that 40, your body's going to start telling on you, flat out. You're going to moved to get up, to light yourself another cigarette, or, grab another donut out the box at work. And you're going to hear this crack, crack, crack. Oh, what was that? That was my knees. That was my back. All that different stuff, all right? And that's because your body's not used to moving anymore. You've trained it to be, comfortable sitting around all day. And the way to get out of that is right here. If you're here and you're actually moving with me today, you're on your way, to snapping out of that sedentary lifestyle. A lot of, I guess they call them white collar jobs, right? A lot of people in this country, United States, just in case you guys don't know where I'm at. A lot of people, a lot of employees, white collar jobs, and which basically means a desk job. Now I came from the blue collar, some time back, long time back. In fact, that's how I got most of my injuries. So, hard labor, climbing telephone poles, hanging up cable wire, phone wire, all that kind of stuff, right? Being careful not to get electrocuted, crawling through attics, crawling up underneath homes to run cable, phone line, telecommunications, video, internet, DSL, all that kind of stuff. That's, my younger years, that's just what I did. I had to put bread on the table, and it, got me out. So anyway, needless to say, because of all that labor that I was doing, I wasn't and the fact that I was younger, I wasn't as hard pressed to go to the gym, or work out because I was kind of getting a workout. But, you know, I mean, at least it's better than sitting on the couch. I'll put it to you like that. So I'm sitting at the desk all day. So, anyway, needless to say, here I am today. I'm not doing that kind of work anymore. So you have to be very careful. Once you, get one of those type of jobs, right? You have to make sure that you get some type of movement in your life, consistent movement. You don't have to be a marathon runner, but you must be consistent. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move over to our treadmill here. All right, so I'm gonna see if the video works because I'm still getting used to this. I don't post on YouTube a whole lot at all. Probably not never. You know what I mean? Maybe one or two like in my whole entire life. But anyway, let's see if this camera is working right now. In fact, let me move this heater out of the way so I could have more room. All right, looks like we are rolling. So anyway, where was I? Let's get back on the treadmill here. Let's go for a little ride. Why not? I only live once. Let's do it. All right. So we stopped at 2.7 for as speed goes. We were at a 7 incline, if you remember correctly. Now, hopefully this is a pretty good angle where we're at right now. I believe it is. So anyway, feel the elevation. Well, hear it. Now it's stopped. It stopped at its 7 incline. So I think I'll take a little bit more quiet at this point. I'm not going to probably do as much talking because it's going to get tough, real fast. Not super tough because we're not going to be running and jogging and doing all that kind of stuff. But once you start hitting, your threes, so speed-wise, 3.0, speed-wise, incline, your 8s, 9s, 10s, 11, 12, incline. Yeah. This starts getting very hard to talk today. So, now I'll probably stop at 10 minutes, and I'll probably continue without recording the rest because, I don't know, I can put up 5 videos, but if I get away with 3, why not do that? And that's funny because that's kind of the way it is working out, right? You're like, well, what is the absolute minimum that I can do to maintain a certain level of fitness? I mean, if we're being honest here, that's what most people want to know, right? Most of us, I think we know deep down in our side, especially if we're men, deep down inside in our hearts, we know that we're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman. We're not going to look like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. We're going super straight, super, run 10 miles a day and do 1,000 push-ups a day and all that kind of stuff. Eat just carrots and beets for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know, maybe some of you will woke up like that, but I know it won't be me. So, I like to eat. I don't believe in diets anymore. And I believe in just cutting the fat off the steak, if you were, right? What is it that I need to do that's going to help me drop pounds and to maintain whatever kind of fitness level that I want? And that's where it's different for everyone, right? It's a little bit different for everybody. So that's where getting to know your body comes into play. But how do you get to know your body if you don't do anything, right? If you don't get up off the couch, you never get up, how do you know? What your body can do, what it cannot. Well, that's why I believe in action. It's instead of words, right? You can read a whole bunch of books about fitness, but until you actually apply the stuff that you're reading, some of those techniques, some of those things, it's just a bunch of talk. And the fact that you got buttons popping off your shirt and can't zip up your pants and all that kind of stuff, that's telling you your body knows that you're just talking instead of walking. So why not walking right now? I mean, if you tune in on this video, you can be sitting around watching, you don't have to have a treadmill. You can just do some steps, right? I mean, literally, let me pause this for a second. I got about 6 minutes left anyway. So I'm gonna stop this, right? I mean, literally, you can just do some steps, just march, just do just like this. Just march. If you do this, for 10 minutes a day, that's a good start. You know what I mean? And then, you can even hop around, do that for 5 minutes, then right back to this. So you can do this in an apartment, you can do this in a house. You don't have to have a garage with a gym in it. Now, an apartment, well, your neighbors might come looking for me if you take that, because depending on what floor you live, right? You're like, that Joe Bloe, he told them to jump up and down above my head. Well, that's not quite what I said, but anyway, I would say you gotta move. And maybe that crazy neighbor of yours who lives below you was actually out jogging or out moving. He wouldn't be around, he or she wouldn't be around to hear you exercising. See how everything, one back washes one hand, washes the other? See how great that works out? Anyway, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and crank this up to 2.9, move it up to a 9. That's where things start getting a little bit tough. So, checking in with our bodies here. How do your feet and your ankles feel? Right? Your toes even, right? Funny thing, some of y'all might think this is a little disgusting, but funny thing, when you get to know your body, you start noticing things that you lack, that you neglected. Right? The other day I was walking, a few days back, and I said, man, I was checking in with my body on the treadmill, and I said, wow, how long has it been since I cut my toenails? Because my toes don't feel right. So lo and behold, once I was done, look, wow, yeah, those things have got pretty long. So things like that. So what I'm saying is, as you're working out, this is why I do not like distractions, right? You gotta check in with your body. So the chances of you having an accident are minimized, right? Check in with your body when you're doing those squats, right? When you're doing those push-ups, when you're curling that weight. Check in with your body, and it doesn't hurt to slow down a little bit when you're curling, you know what I mean? Just to make sure that you ain't gonna pop nothing or out of place. Now, when you're 20, I guess you can just do whatever, right? You can have a curl bar in each arm, right? Just, I was telling one of the guys at my job, some time ago, I said, hey, he was like, why do you take some of these supplements and pills and all that stuff? My mind, my coworkers older than I am, right? So I said, hey, man, I'm not gonna say his name because I'm gonna, put him on blast right there. I said, hey, man, when you were 20 years old, and I pointed to a package on his desk, them big old Amazon packages and all that stuff, show up in cardboard boxes. I said, when you were 20 years old, you and I both, when we were 20, we could eat that cardboard box and find some kind of nutrition in it. That is what it is. When you're 20 years old, you can pretty much eat whatever the heck you want. And your body is going to still burn fat, do what it's supposed to do, provided that you exercise, of course. But when you are older, your body starts slowing down, your body starts finding it harder and more difficult to get the things that it needs and the food that it eats. You know, so things do get kind of hard, kind of rough, real fast. So this goes back to, you know, saying the importance of having regular doctor visits, right? If you can't hire your own private doctor, you know, check in with your regular doctor, the one that your job pays for. You know, start seeing him about twice a year. Start there. You know, have serious conversations about what's going on in your life. You know, do some research. You know, just a lot of things you can do. Because after all, this is your body, right? It's your body. So you got to take care of it. You're only given one of them. So, yeah. All right, so I'm at 0.4 right now, distance-wise. Okay? So I crank this up, elevation-wise, to a 10. Right? So my elevation is now at a 10. And like I was saying, this when things start getting, you know, a little bit harder, things like that. Now it was quite chilly when I came to this garage this morning, but now, well, I'll put it to you this way. It's starting to heat up a little bit. So let's go ahead and raise the speed to 3.0. So we're at 3.0, 10 incline. We're at 0.4 distance wise. So quite possibly we'll reach half a mile by the time this 10 minutes is out. And I'm gonna see, we got about 20 seconds left. Let me see if I can go ahead and stop this with my handy dandy remote. Let's see what happens. Don't know. Got 10 seconds. 10 seconds left. We haven't hit 0.5 though. And I stopped. Still at 0.4. That's okay, I'm sure. A couple of seconds more. Since I burned 73 calories, I'm not sure if that's accurate. See you in the next one. Okay, so we are back here on the on this device here, and you notice that I keep saying this device, this device, this device, and that's because, you know, I guess I'm a little too simple-minded because I forgot what this is called. Maybe one of you guys can help me in the comments or something. But anyway, I'm gonna get started here. So this is my fourth repetition, 10-minute intervals, all right? So I'm not sure if I'm gonna, you know, continue this, you know, recording this particular segment, but I still got one more 10-minute interval on the treadmill, which should bring it up to 15 minutes. Okay, so there's my right knee. I felt it just a little bit. This is the importance of checking in with your body, right? So my right knee is, you know, a little angry with me, right? And particularly with this, right? This particular device. Now I still use this anyway because, you know, my bike is out of commission currently. So what I do to get past it, I'm not recommending, I'm not a doctor, I'm not, you know, I'm barely a trainer, right? What I recommend is, you know, just checking it with your knee or, you know, whatever injury you have, and just slow it down a little bit. Maybe try not to put so much weight on it and figure out, hey, what am I doing wrong here? Maybe I need to use my arms more, you know, instead of my legs. So let me try that for a bit, you know. And it's important it's very important to know that, you know, for any reason that you feel any pain, you need to stop. You know, assess the situation, figure out if you can go on more. Since I know my body pretty well, you know, I'm keeping going, but I don't recommend that for anyone. I'm just, anyway, that's a different story. So, basically the importance of knowing your body, right? I mean, you go to school, you go to college, unless you're training in health and fitness in college, right? Your degree is on that. Most of your professors, instructors, your teachers, whomever, they're not going to teach you about your body. What you should be doing, the changes, the stages, and how to deal with injuries, and just like they're not teaching you about finances, right? Unless you're becoming a financial analyst or something like that, you have a degree in finance, then you learn about all that stuff. But when we're in school, whether it's college, high school, junior high, whatever, who teaches you about fitness and health? But, dare I say it, it's probably the most important thing that you're going to learn in your life. Because it doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have, for that matter. Whatever it is you got, you want to enjoy it. And how can you enjoy it? Anything. You know what I mean? If you're, immobilized, can't do anything, right? Because I don't want to tick anybody off. I understand we have, some people who are, immobile due to, maybe birth or an injury happened or just old age or whatever the case may be. I understand that. But even those guys, because I have a disabled son myself, you know what I mean? Even those guys can do some type of movement. Even if you're in a wheelchair, you can do something. The key is finding out what that is. And that's where your doctor, your physical therapist, and all those things come into place. Finding out, hey, what kind of movement can I do that allow me to break a little bit of a sweat, every day, at least 4 or 5 times a week. What can I do? So that's why eventually, you're going to have to learn your body. You're not going to have a choice. So why not start now? That's what I look at it. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Start now. Because I guarantee you, the more you put it off, you're going to look up and the whole year is going to have gone by. Think about this. Okay, most people, they do what's called New Year's resolution. Right? They're like, okay, come January 1, I'm going to get to the gym more. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to, do this, do that. Be a better friend, be a better parent, whatever, promise you make. My question has always been, why are you waiting? Why not start now? Whatever it is you want to work on. I worked for many Fortune 500 companies in my career span, and I noticed one thing common amongst all of them. We even worked for some Fortune 100 as well. But one of the things that stands out amongst all of them is they are continuously going to the drawing board, going to the planning board, having meetings continuously, weekly, daily even, on how they can improve, what they need to do, how to get their staff on track to accomplishing company goals for not next year, this year. So they're not waiting until next year to try to do something about their current situation. They're working on it now, right now. So guess what? By the end of the year, they can look back at what they've done and say, oh yeah, we want to do this, we want to do X, Y, and Z, we accomplished X, Y, and Z, and A, B, C. We accomplished more. And guess what? That's still not good enough. Because guess what? They're going to raise the bar again. Here's what we want to work on this year. So, if you can go to work for companies like that, right? They're teaching you without them even realizing they're teaching you on what you should be focusing on. And what is that? Crickets, right? Nobody wants to know. Nobody knows. But oh, that wasn't crickets. I was sounding this machine here. Anyway, I'm thinking it needs a little oil, probably a little WD-40 or something. Anyway, they're teaching you it's now. That's what they're teaching you. They're teaching you how to be organized. They're teaching you how to be structured, how to accomplish something on a continuous basis. You need to open your eyes. You need to pay attention and apply that to your fitness. You know, because that's where it starts. You know, I don't care if you're the smartest person on your job or if you're the dumbest person on your job. Maybe you go to work, maybe you're a little bit like me, right? You know, I'm in a very technical role here. I'm like, man, I don't know as much as I thought I did. Right? But the point that I'm making is, you know, no matter who you are, you know, one thing I noticed about myself that I do have, you know, I go to my job and I'm one of the fittest people there. In fact, my immediate area, people, co-workers, you know, I'm the guy they call when they need something heavy lifting done, you know. And that's just not being stereotypical. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I got some pretty decent size arms, some pretty decent strength, you know. I was benching 265, but I kind of, you know, slowed down a little bit on that because my shoulders started messing with me. So I'm still, you know, probably about 230 I bench. So, and no, it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, it's not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. No, but the average person, if the average person was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, would The Rock have a job? Probably not. There'd be 50 million more people just like him, right? Now, truth of the matter is, he's kind of an anomaly, right? He walks around, buff, swole, and everybody looks at him like, man, I can't do that. And sorry to say, you're right, you can't do that. But what you can do is button that shirt, zip up those pants, you know, and how you do that, lose a little weight, gradually, slowly. Don't kill yourself with a diet. Make sure your blood work comes back, you know, is regulated by your doctor, you know, your A1C, your hormones, you know, your blood pressure, all those different things. And guess what all those things have in common? One of the main things to get those things in check that I just named, blood pressure, A1C, you know, hormones. Not just medication, but exercise. And that's it for today. That was 40 minutes. I'm gonna finish the last 10 on the treadmill, and I'll see you next time. Oh, it didn't stop. Huh. All right, so we're gonna do the last 10 minutes. I changed my mind here. Hopefully this camera is straight enough. You know, I don't have the little leveler here. Anyway, this is Joe from Joe Bull's Fitness, as you already know. And what many of you probably don't know, you know what, hold on a second, let me stop this. I think I need to up the camera just a little bit more. I think, because I believe, there we go. Oh, I believe the last time you guys couldn't see the top of my head quite right. Okay, all right. Like I was missing part of me, right? All right, let me go ahead and get it started. So, well, we stopped at 10 speed-wise, elevation-wise. So let's go ahead and, you know, warm up a little bit more with the work. And I'm at a incline of 5, speed of 2.5. Okay? I'll probably keep that for about 2 minutes and start cranking it up. You know, now, what this is going to probably end up being, this is the last segment, the last stretch. It's going to be more of a, what do you call it? A rolling effect, right? You know, I don't know how many of you have been hiking in the mountains and stuff like that. You know, I was stationed in San Diego, Camp Pendleton, many years ago, and we used to, we called them homes, but essentially we were hiking, you know, and big 80-pound pack on your back and all that kind of stuff, you know. But anyway, when you're hiking, the terrain doesn't stay level, does it? It elevates, it descends, it elevates, descends, and sometimes it stays a little flat. So we're going to emulate that today on this last stretch on a treadmill. Now generally, if I had my bike over there, no thanks to no other track, you know, I would be able to do this on a bicycle. You know, because I like to ride things like that, but where I live, there are the streets, there's nowhere to ride a bike. We're not bike friendly here. So, something else. Oh, but I got a big giant house though. Is it really worth it? I don't know. Some of you may be worth it. You know, anyway, that's a different story. So, like I was saying, okay, so, you know, we're going to emulate these hills. We're at 2.15, or 2:15 for its time. So, right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the elevation up to about a 9. So, we're from 5 to the 9. You might be able to hear that going up a little bit. That's why I was quiet. All right, so I'm going to take this to a 2.7. So it's shooting up a little bit. So now our elevation is up. Kind of simulate maybe going up the side of a hill or something. All right? So I'm going to do this for a couple minutes. And you guys probably can see that I don't have the best work area, right? But I still make it work, no pun intended. So, got a little wheelbarrow back there. I don't want to get snow and ice all over it. You know, spring coming up and you gotta get to work with that. So anyway, got a lot of stuff in here. This is my third car garage here. I refuse to park my vehicles outside because, you know, you got to protect the paint, you got to protect whatever it is, right? That helps maintain some type of value in the vehicle. So when you trade it in or whatever you're going to do with it, it's good to maintain it. So then it cuts down on the value too, right? Anyway, evangelism. So anyway, I'm at a 9 incline. It's been about a minute. Actually, it's probably been about 2 minutes, I think. Running my mouth so much, you're losing track of time. But one thing I do know, we will not forget. We're only on this baby for 10 minutes. So, to the next, let's say 40 seconds, I'm going to pump this up to a higher elevation, higher speed. Then I'm going to slow it down, decrease the elevation, decrease the speed. So, it simulates, I don't know, I'm going to call it mountain climbing, whatever you want to call it. 20 seconds. 20 seconds left. I'll probably boost it up to a 10, maybe 11. 3.0 speed-wise. 5 seconds. Here we go. Now, so we're at 3. We're at 11 incline. And my body notices the difference. It's already, I feel it already gearing up. Like, yeah, I'm ready for this. It's going to be a little bit tougher than what I'm accustomed to. And really, that's what you really want. That's what health and fitness is all about. Just making things, tweaking things, just a little bit, not a whole lot. All right? Tweaking it just enough to where your body is kind of just a little bit uncomfortable. All right? Nothing to hurt yourself, nothing to injure yourself. You know. Okay. It's important to note, like I stated previously, before starting any exercise, diet, medication, whatever, check with your doctor first. So, we're 6 minutes in. At the 7th minute, I might crank it up again for about 30 seconds, and then start decreasing. We'll see. Depends on what my body tells me, right? Whew. 20 seconds. What will I do? Will I go up? Will I go down? What will I do? Check in with my feet, my ankles, my knees. How's my back doing? I'll go up. So we're at 3.2 speed. We're at a 12 incline. And as you can probably hear from my breaths and the lack of conversation, right? Yeah, I ran out of stuff to talk about. Yeah. It's pretty tough. Now keep in mind, right? We're at a marathon. We're not lifting a building on our shoulders, squatting a building, squatting 10 people. We're not doing none of that. We're just making things a little bit uncomfortable for our bodies. That's all it takes. Literally. That and, decent diet. All right, so I'm going to slow it down now. Incline. It's going down. See that at 7. 7, incline, 2.7. Now it's okay to grab a hold of these bars here, right? That's the most treadmills they have the little handles you can grab onto as you walk. And what it does is it tests your pulse rate. Right now, I'm at a 93, 98, 102. Oh, it's going up because I just put my hands on it. So, yeah, it's okay to grab on this for safety, things like that. All right, we're 9 minutes. We got 1 minute left. All right. Hopefully my camera's straight enough. I don't know. The camera's a little crooked from where I'm looking, but yeah, we'll fix it. So, let's go ahead and lower it a little bit more. So we're at a 5 incline now. And the speed is 2.5. Now we're going to lower the incline to a 3. All right? We got like 40 seconds left. So we kind of slow down. Slow down. Back to where we started. Because if you remember, where I started was 2.5 speed-wise, 3 incline. So, 3 seconds left, and we're done. Just like that. So, you can see how easy it is. You can do it.